Yo, what's up, everybody? Geektastic Cypher here on Free X Agents Media and on Twitch TV.
Hey, what's up?
We were doing a little show and tell. Jaws was showing us a cool pin.
Oh,
let's see.
this might be a little bit shiny. I'm gonna try and get it.
So he has a jazz pin that he's holding up right now. If you guys are listening to this, and then I recently got a. Oh, this is so hard because how bright my lights are. But it's a Back to the Future sneaker keyring.
Cool.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when I found that.
I don't have any.
Show and tell, Dave. We told you it was show and tell.
So,
shame on you, Dave. Oh, that's cute. It's Xavier.
Oh, yeah, you're Professor X.
Yeah,
you've already shown that though. So this is.
I know that's the closest thing I had. I don't have anything small. I have big stuff,
dude. I'm playing.
Big stuff.
Okay, so I'll start the rant early this week.
Oh boy. Off the rails.
Please remember, you start the rant early and it never went away for the rest of the show.
I promise. This one will be short. People, I just want y'all to understand, just because someone else doesn't do something that you do isn't a commentary on you doing the thing.
Oh, yeah.
So just to make it clear, I was talking to somebody at work recently. And they started talking about something that they saw on Joe Budden. And I was just like, oh, cool. And they were just like, oh, you don't watch Joe Budden anymore? You don't watch Joe Budden? I was like, no, I don't watch the podcast anymore. I'm not really into his stuff. And they're just like, oh, well, you used to watch it all the time. I remember you talking about it. I'm like, yeah, but, there's some stuff came up that I didn't feel comfortable with. So I didn't feel like consuming his content anymore. But, whatever. And he's just like, well, I still watch it. And I'm like, okay. And the person immediately got defensive for something they said, as if I said what they were doing was wrong.
No.
And I just want to remind people, me choosing not to watch Joe Budden because I don't agree with some of the things Joe Budden has done in his past is not a reflection of your interest in Joe Budden or what you feel comfortable watching. And I'm not judging you for what I don't give up about what you're watching. Watch what you want. Why, dude? It was so weird to have someone mad at me because they asked me a question that I replied to politely and never complained about anything. And they just got mad and started defending Joe Budden to me like they were his cousin. No.
No.
Cousin
That's
Joe
not,
didn't do nothing.
that's not someone's cousin. Usually someone's cousin's like, yeah, that dude's a knucklehead. Don't worry about it.
True.
It's like he's been a knucklehead for a while. We just let it slide because we can't be bothered to correct him anymore.
You know what, Jaws? That is the most accurate depiction of how someone would talk about their cousin. It's so true.
Like, I've given up.
Yeah,
I love the dude, but I give it up.
Well, it's just like those people who, like, when they say, do you watch like this movie or whatever, and you just say like, nah, it's not like I don't feel like it's nothing attractive, and then but they like the movie for whatever reason or another, and they're like, well, why? Well, yeah, I don't want to. Why? What's wrong with it? And you're like, I'm not saying anything is wrong with it. I'm just simply stating that I rather not. That's all it is.
So I told my partner the story, and my partner's just like, yeah, haven't I told you what happens to me at work every time I talk to someone about that I'm a vegetarian and they're eating meat? And the first thing they say to me is just like, well, we have the teeth made for eating meat. And they start like explaining to my partner how it's okay to eat meat. And my partner's just like, I didn't say it wasn't okay. I said, I don't eat meat. No one's judging. Y'all need to shut the fuck up and just sit down. No one is judging you. No one is judging you. Why are y'all so defensive? What is going on in the world that everyone is so defensive now that they are arguing against themselves, both sides of a debate that we never got into? Never. I didn't say anything about Joe Budden that it was my opinion. And I didn't even say don't watch it. I didn't tell you he's a bad man.
Did you end up stopping the person and telling them that? Like, hey.
Oh, dude.
Hey. Like
when they
two hands up, like
off,
whoa, pump the brakes.
When they see, here's the thing: when someone starts to come at me that way, I would have liked to have stopped and said, live your best life." But I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna destroy Joe Budden for you. So I just started explain all the things Joe's done. And I was just like, listen, these are all the reasons I don't watch Joe Budden. The sexual assault allegations, the weird stuff, the weird assault stuff, like all the I just started listing the long things. And I was just like, and these are the reasons I don't feel comfortable consuming his content. But you can feel comfortable consuming the content if you so choose. Because guess what? The tea you drink don't mean to me. It don't bother me. I don't care. So needless to say, we don't talk that much at work about Joe Budden anymore.
You want to know why we have petty arguments like this? Participation trophies, gentlemen. That people do not have thick skin no more.
It's just weird. It's just weird to me. It's like why are you mad? You like Joe, go like Joe Budden. No one's mad at you. No one said anything.
So she was mad at you. Sorry, obviously.
Yeah, I was just saying. The homeboy came up to me and was talking to me about Joe Budden, and I was just like, oh, I don't really watch Joe no more. And he's just like, yo, you used to watch all the time. I was like, yeah, I just don't feel comfortable with some of the stuff he's done. And he's just like, whoa. And then he started getting upset as if I said he was a bad person for consuming Joe Budden's content.
Okay, all right, I get it.
People, you can do whatever the hell you want. Go consume. Harvey Weinstein is a monster. Some of his movies are still out there. Y'all can still watch the movies if you want to. It's really up to you what you feel comfortable.
Kill Bill Volume 1, any Quentin Tarantino movie before his arrest, Kevin Smith movies.
Exactly.
Oh damn.
Yeah, the Weinstein Company produced a lot of films, so it's like if you don't like Weinstein, if you're not comfortable with Weinstein, then you don't have to watch
a movie in the 90s. You can't watch no more.
Right.
Any really good Miramax movie, you can't watch. I mean, you can watch it, but it's like if you're going to be on that stance, then it's like a whole swath of movies. You
right.
Watch.
Look,
and you don't have
he's a shit. You don't have to support him anymore.
Right.
That's how it works. That's how it should work. You can consume what they had, and then when it's up to the point, it's like, well, then ye be judged. You know what I mean?
Hey, also, folks, we live in 2023. Y'all can bootleg now. Y'all can bootleg now all you want. I'm not even going to try and hide that from you. The internet is there. If you don't want to give these people money, guess what? You can give the pirates money. Give the pirates all the money. Wave their flag with pride and ride the internet as long as you want. Do you? Who cares? Make sure you have a good VPN. Nord, holla. Get us sponsorship.
I'm tired of being on the tail end of some shit that could have been like, money making that ended up not being, we got into MySpace too late before it popped. We got into Instagram. We were there. We didn't have the wherewithal to get on YouTube, start a stupid channel about nothing, reach on, get that money. Like I want to be at the next thing.
I mean, I remember turning my old radio show at CJLO into podcast and just being like, I just don't have the money to pay for the server space to podcast regularly, like to just archive everything I'm doing. But had I started doing it in 2004 when I started my radio show and I had weekly 3-hour episodes, my catalog would run so deep and I would just be able to be like, here's all the fucking great music. Here's all the interviews. Here's when I met Jizza. Here's when I met Clips. Here's when I met Chance the Rapper. Here's when I met all these wild ass interviews I've done. And I'd be like, it's all just there. And instead it's just, they're all on a hard drive somewhere. That I'm like,
oh, no.
It would have been illegal for me to upload half of those shows because it was all music, but we didn't know that back then because half my friends were uploading their radio shows to podcast sites and no one was saying anything. And then once the rules kick in, by then you already had a following, so you'd move over to a new platform, Patreon, something like that, so that you could get some little skrill on the side. But yeah, no, I know, I hear you, man. All these systems
sounds like that guy that had he got into Bitcoin early, and then something happened with the hard drive that had the information on it.
His thing wallet?
Yeah, the e-wallet was on a hard drive.
Shit.
And the hard drive ended up in a landfill.
Oh, no.
And he's trying to petition the city to dig up a specific section of the landfill. So I think him and some other people were able to kind of figure out it was this time and this, that, and they dumped it. They dump it in methodical ways. And so he's like, it's here. If we could just dig this area up, I can get my money. And then the city's like, nah, it's kind of dangerous and you're very annoying. We don't want to do it. It's literally that. Like, stop pestering us to dig up in the landfill. The landfill's nasty. Like, why you want to do the landfill? There might be money in there, man. And it's like, I'm willing to donate part of my money for like, it's like,
yeah, you got to come with see, that's one of those situations where you got to come with the money up front.
Yeah.
Like, I got it. Like, whatever the value of the wallet is, you better hope you can make back most of what you're about to give these people. Because
I think he was able to, but he just had to get in the landfill and like be able to dig in that section. But I think I can't remember if it was in Britain or in America. I can't remember, but
because there might be money there, but there's 100% diseases there.
Yeah,
and you don't want that kind of especially wait. It was in London.
Money, but there's 100% diseases.
If it's in the UK,
I think it was the UK.
You don't know what kind of 1883 plague they got under. Nah, bro, I'm not digging up.
No, but it was like, 2000 and whatever. As Bitcoin was starting, right? So he was just like he was cleaning up his room and he threw out a hard drive. And he's like, oh no, that was the hard drive that had my stuff on it.
You know what though? That's one of those situations where it's like, that's on you, homie. How are you gonna throw out the wallet? Like, come on.
Didn't realize at the time. It was either he didn't realize or whoever was cleaning for him didn't know. And
sounds like Ma Duke's gonna owe you a lot of money then.
That's
why you don't let Ma Duke clean your room.
Careless for something that is important. Or should have been quasi considered important if you were to invest in it.
Yeah.
I don't leave the door to my office with all my nerd shit open when I'm not here because my cat will go and ruin shit.
That's what I was going to say. You got a cat. I'm not doing that, period. But you got
exactly.
But it's a metaphor for the moment.
I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, I truly am like, if I'm the city, I'm like, well, first of all, I'm not insured to have you or anybody look through this. I'm not going to pay for the insurance for y'all to do this. You lost this thing and threw it out. You need to keep better track of your ish. Like, there's a laundry list of reasons that I'm just like, yo, this is a very big you problem, sir. Not a me.
I just Googled it really quick. A software engineer from Wales lost about $186.9 million in Bitcoin at a landfill site in 2013. Has hatched a plan to recover it. For the past 9 years, James Howells has been attempting to locate the hard drive on which the Bitcoin was stored. And it's been updated.
There we go.
Here we go.
It was updated. No, wait. It was updated last year, the 8th month.
Another person went and stole that hard drive.
August 2022. What happened?
I'm opening up the article now.
Okay. So wait, just to repeat, this guy had the equivalent of 9 figures.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 9 figures on a drive that he somehow just let end up in the trash. Yo, Jaws, Jaws, it sounds like it really is his fault at that point, though. Like, you can't have 9 figures on a thing and just have it somewhere that someone can throw. That is in a safe, safety deposit box. Like, there's so many layers of defense that you can do for 9 figures, and this dude had this shit in a room that someone could toss in a trash can.
No, listen.
So there was initial investment on that was still made that, like, because if they even put it years ago, right? It's like, it wasn't like it was zero and became this. It was something before.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Dave, are you letting this happen? Are you dropping a hard drive on the ground?
Do you want me to continue on this story? Or just we're good
August 2022.
I want to hear what happened.
I'm
okay,
fascinated.
So however, Mr. Howells has run into regulatory problems and has yet to receive permission from Newport City Council to search the landfill, despite previously offering 25% of the fortune if they can help him find it. His proposal proposes significant ecological risk, which we cannot accept, and indeed are prevented from considering by the terms of our permit, a Newport City Council representative told The Guardian. Meanwhile, Mr. Howells said he had a 20-minute Zoom call with the council and did not hear from them again. If he is successful in recovering the digital coins, he has made a pledge to the people of Newport to literally give them crypto directly and bringing this whole area into the 21st century. He has vowed to give every single person in Newport £50, 60, well, let's say $61 in
Yeah.
Bitcoin. We have all of the components of this recovery operation in place, he said. In terms of what next and fast cars, I try not to think ahead that far.
But then,
Okay.
let's say he gets to the hard drive.
Mhm.
Who's to say that set hard drive will be intact
Yeah.
to then be
Oh, that's
used?
just it's
Yeah,
ruined.
that's a whole bunch
that's
of
not
other
working.
factors.
Like
I'm not even
it's
thinking about it yet.
around garbage. It's more likely soaked in some shape. It has been soaked in something.
And Jaws, you said this was 2013.
So I could tell you when he lost it. So
Okay. Oh,
in 2009, Mr. Howes was understood to be one of the first 5 people in the world to be running Bitcoin mining software and had 8,000 coins at the time when it was worth virtually nothing.
Mhm.
Then he stopped mining and in 2010 stripped his laptop for parts and put the hard drive in a drawer. Every so often, I used to go through and do a clear out, he said during a recent interview at a YouTube channel, What's Next?
yeah,
I had 2 hard drives just loose in the drawer, and it turns out I threw the wrong one away.
Oh, you
Why
threw the
would you
wrong
not
one away.
check?
By
Label
2013
this shit. Label.
By
Time.
2013.
No, wait. I need to understand something. So he had this in 2000. What was he? He had
2009.
it- He had
2009.
it in 2009, and he just carelessly threw them away in 2010.
No, yeah. So he was mining for Bitcoin, I guess, on his laptop.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you could do that, when a laptop was, you could do that on a
Powerful, yeah.
laptop. And he got 8,000 coins
Right.
of Bitcoin. It was worth nothing.
Then he stripped it for components.
Stripped it for parts in 2010, put it in a drawer.
Right.
And then when he saw the 2 hard drives, he had 2 hard drives loose. And he said, oh, this is the one I don't need. This is the one that has my Bitcoins on it. And when he checked the one that he still had, it
So
had
it-
nothing on it.
so
So
my
clearly
thing-
he threw out the wrong one.
Dave, you
Okay,
go.
Skinny, hit us.
No, you.
So my thing is, as I said before, very ignorantly, my nigga, you ain't gonna label them shits. I labeled them. I'm at least
I mean,
gonna
now
write
he
something.
is.
But how about even like a scratch versus not a scratch,
Bro,
or
some kind
how
of
about,
X.
or how about this?
Okay,
Why don't you
But you
test
don't have a
it before
Sharpie?
you throw it?
right, Dave.
Oh,
So
man,
next level. So first level, Skinny.
listen,
let's
this
lab-
is basic tech support.
Yeah,
Everybody listening,
let's-
this is basic tech support.
Let's label it.
Let's just go.
Step
Label it.
1, label it. If you
Yeah.
didn't label it, step 2, check
That's
the
the
drive
thing.
before you throw it out. If you don't check the drive, step 3, don't throw out a fucking thing until you know what's what.
You know.
First of
He's
all,
like-
bro.
first of all, I'll reiterate what his job is: software engineer.
Oh man,
So technically, he should know better, especially if he is like, oh, let me try this Bitcoin thing.
Yo,
If he's like
My
the
G got
first
cocky.
one of the
Like-
first 5 people in the world to be mining
It's like
Bitcoin.
it doesn't take space.
Skinny.
No
back
space.
Back to what you were saying before about how it would be nice to be ahead of the train.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was, and look at what happened to him.
I mean,
Sometimes being ahead of the
yo.
curve doesn't help.
not good.
'Cause
Hold on.
some
Ain't worth a
people-
shit. Yeah, true. You're right.
That's weird. So now I'm just digging a little bit deeper. So now I'm
Yeah.
going to global news.
Okay.
What are you doing over there?
Yeah, Dave.
Well, I-
Dave, mute yourself next time.
This
Look at
is
the
how big a
treasure.
drive is.
Oh,
This is how big a drive is.
Ah.
I borderline
hard drive.
want to get a tape. This. If anything, this is a big drive from, and this is
So
from
for
a
anyone who
2005 laptop.
anyone who is
Damn,
watching,
here's
anyone
what
who's
he was
listening to this, Dave is holding a standard solid state. That's a solid state hard drive.
I believe so.
Solid state hard drive.
So basically, it could
snap.
fit in a laptop.
Yeah,
True,
it-
that
it
was
is
on the
roughly-
laptop. I'm thinking desktop, which is
No,
much big.
laptop.
it's a
Wow.
laptop.
That's-
Yeah.
You're
Again, that's how much
useless, guys.
processing
Stop.
power it needed back in that time.
No, you're
Like
just-
not
you
like
imagine?
barely anything.
You couldn't.
Sorry, I did not mean to make the ruckus, but I felt that added on to the effect
No,
of
that's
me
fair. That's
pulling
fair.
myself.
It was an interesting pause for us to be like, "What the this guy's
Well,
doing?" And
hey.
then to pull out a hard
Like,
drive.
You know,
Hey, for
it's-
something that
that's so
small,
much.
even if he does dig it up, bro, you ain't never finding that. That is
Yeah,
still
but that's the
the
thing.
worst kind of poop, and everything else of excrement plus
this is
weather
sensitive.
is in that thing. Number 4, because I did 3. Number 4 is even if you take it to some guy, who's not gonna rob you? You
Yeah,
have to tell them, hey, so
yeah.
you're the landfill guy. They know.
So-
like, come on.
Yeah.
So his plan. So this global news article has more details about his plan. Howells also wants to purchase two 75,000 US robotic dogs from Boston Dynamics to assist in the search. If the project goes ahead, Howells will name the dogs Satoshi and Hal.
John,
So he's already got you there, Skitty. He's like, yo, we're gonna get some robot dogs, get some AI spell. The funding has been secured. We've brought in on an AI specialist. Their technology can easily be retrained to search for a hard drive.
Okay, so I just one extra question. This guy is independently wealthy then, as is.
For sure.
Well, he's a software engineer. That's been I don't know if he was still working at 2009, but I'm assuming at some point.
But our software engineers, well, I don't know. I'm asking.
Well, it's just because based on
usually,
everything
I think
you're
they're usually very well.
well paid. But like
they're
everything
well
you're
paid. But I think at the
describing.
moment now they probably got fired from a bunch of stuff.
Oh, so sad.
Don't cry
Yeah.
for them. They'll be fine. They'll find some other industry to go into. Like that's what's happening. It's all
That's
just
super
distributed.
funny.
Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
But all this to say, shout outs to the crazy dude for not thinking twice about throwing out a hard drive that potentially had hundreds of millions of dollars. Just woo! You have
And
to
the,
be all kinds of crazy to do that.
And for some reason, the global news article says it's 235 million.
What?
But they're
well,
not.
maybe they're updating the value between.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. I think one is in US dollars, so the
And one's in
182
that makes sense.
is in US, and then it translates into Canadian dollars.
No, man, too bad, so sad. Like, just come on,
Yeah.
enjoy the rest of your life because he's probably not married because
You had a story.
Again, this is in a landfill from 2010, and he's still trying now.
Yeah.
Come on, easy.
Yeah, dude, come on now.
Easy,
That's
man.
done. How long can a hard drive? How long does a hard drive have before it starts to deteriorate? Like the materials you make hard drives out of don't last forever.
but
I don't know.
Under good circumstances, it's usually pretty good. It's usually just depending on the type of hard drive. I think solid states can probably last longer than the spinning disk ones that
But this is
have
definitely
magnets
spinning.
in it.
This is definitely a spinning disc. 2000.
Yeah,
2000
it's spinning.
Depends.
But what about this
2009?
question?
Really?
But
I don't know how
what about this question, guys? What about this question? Would you say if you stood up and had that hard drive in your hand, if you stood up and you just by accident let go and it fell to the ground, it would break or close to break?
Well, the same hard drive after you recovered it?
It
Like
depends.
this guy's hard drive, if you were to have it in your hand
Yes.
and let it fall,
Yes.
would it potentially damage it?
It depends. That's what I was gonna say. If it's a solid state, it has a better chance of surviving like a hard fall.
Yes,
than
but
disc
we're
'cause
talking about like a fall that's like it falls, it's thrown into a garbage.
Yeah, you're talking about landfill fall,
and then
It's gone
driving
garbage
it,
and
which
then-
is smashing around in everything, and then it's falling from some cliff
and like
into
compressed
a landfill.
and covered in all of the most disgusting garbage juices.
Yeah,
All
because
the
dude,
stuff.
10
They-
years.
But then
10 plus
I
years.
think he's not expecting it to get it and plug and play and it'll work. I think he's expecting to get it, see if it works. If it doesn't, then try to recover specifically the one thing he needs off of it.
agreed.
Listen.
That's
So you
obviously what would be
can
the plan,
recover information off of it. It is doable. There are services you can
Jaws.
do that.
I
But,
listen.
but I think
Jaws.
that's
think
the
it's
only
a
thing
he
he's
needs to
looking for.
not find it because I don't want him to be there by himself. We know he's by himself. I don't want him to be in by himself. And then all of a sudden he goes, because that, my friend, is madness. You go insane. 1 second.
You both do all that, and
You
it's just
spend your
like,
whole life trying to get this hard drive.
Jaws,
and then
I
you plug
gotta
it in and it
ask
goes,
though, do you truly believe there is a company that could recover data off of a 10 plus year hard drive that has been in a landfill?
I have a better.
That's
I have a better-
charging you what it costs to get that hard drive back.
Sorry, Jaws. Guys, let Jaws
Go on.
finish.
I'm saying it's possible, and if he has the money, again, you pay the money to see
Yeah.
if you could recover it. And if they can recover it, then yay. But if they can't, they'll tell you, hey, we really tried.
Okay,
Like
but
we did this, we did that.
Yeah,
here's
okay,
the
I see
logs,
what you're
here's
saying.
everything.
You're saying at least try.
I'm saying, again, if you have a failed hard drive, you can give it in to get it the data recovered.
Right.
50-50 chance you can recover it, 50-50 chance you can't. That's it. That's it.
But
Yeah,
but
you're
how-
saying
I'm not saying
you're saying you might as
100%
well
gonna come
flip the coin, which
he's flipping all the coins,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
he's
he's
flipping
flipping all
that
the
big massive coin. He's flipped that big giant penny in the
Yeah.
in the bat cave. He's flipping it. That's what he's doing right now.
Because I was going to be like, what do you think the odds are of the following? A, getting the permit, then B, going to the landfill and actually finding it. C, getting
very
it
low.
to work, then D, actually finding the Bitcoin on
the
it.
data.
You're
The
the
data.
luckiest man on earth, and you've never sinned ever.
And then
Yes.
also on top
You-
of it,
a
didn't
child of
Bitcoin
God.
just do a big crash anyway? So I mean,
Like, I don't see, it's like, never tell me the odds is this guy's motto in life at the current moment.
Also, you can't really tell people what you're doing, what you're digging for, because there are evil out there. No one who works at a landfill is 100% straight. So, like,
you know what
Yeah,
the other
but-
thing is? It's a good chance that this hard drive, someone in the landfill found it.
Found that.
Yeah.
I don't
You know,
think so.
Like, Johns, if you tell me in 2009, I work in a landfill, I have access to the area, and someone leaks, or someone finds out, yo, there's a potential 9-figure e-wallet in the landfill. You know, me and the boys are going back.
I'll do
and
you one
finding
better.
that wallet.
I'll do you one better. I could put on my old block, and even here, I could put a any kind of microwave or an air conditioner outside. 30 minutes later, it's gone. Doesn't matter what time.
Yeah, but
it's gone.
no one's
So for
digging
s-
through trash. They just
What?
see it. It's there.
All the time.
They
So you're
see it,
telling
it's
me-
right there. This trash, think about it. When they dump on the landfill, they dump on the landfill and then they pat it down and then they smooth it out and then they dump back again
Yeah.
and smooth it out. There's layers and layers. That's like what,
I-
2010 to
Yeah.
2013. You realized that's a lot
No,
of
someone
years.
found
on
that
That's
in
layer,
09.
and then they moved
This
on to a
thing
next
is
area of that landfill, or they moved
Yeah.
on to a completely different other landfill.
Someone found
I just
that in
love the
09.
fact that someone has full on found this and is already has
repurposed
this
it
many-
long
Well,
time
no,
ago.
if someone, let's say someone did find it, they were able to access it and everything like that.
Yeah.
Then they need his password to access his e-wallet. They can't.
If
No,
you've
what
gone
I
that
mean-
far,
there.
you find a hacker to do that shit for you and say we split 50-50.
apparently, it's really hard to do.
for sure.
Apparently it's really hard to do unless you tamper with it and then you can get in. But
That-
then they can trace the Bitcoin that you used.
But guys,
Sure.
remember,
But-
he didn't label it. So whoever may
Yeah.
have found this in 2009, right? Most likely like, hey, a hard drive, I can repurpose this. Format.
Yeah.
Oh, a hard drive. Why does it say prawn on it? Oh, hard drive. It says prawn on it. All right.
Oh
chuck that.
no. Oh no. Skinny.
Yeah.
That is so
Completely-
fucking
Fat 32 or
brutally
and
accurate.
DSL.
So-
Which one? I don't know.
So
Oh shit.
in order of what I believe is more likely,
Oh,
I think
God,
what Skinny
that's
just said
brutal.
is more likely than all the other things I'm about to say. So that
Yeah,
is more
hard
likely.
drive
Then it's
format.
more likely that somebody found it and then got someone else to hack it and split it versus this guy going to be able to find it.
Do not format Bitcoin on this.
I just love the fact that
Oh my
someone full on. I'm with Skinny with it. Someone finds a hard drive unlabeled and they're just like, I got myself a free hard drive. Format.
This hard drives ain't too bad. It's a little smelly,
Yeah,
but you know, it's still good. It's a little smelly.
Like just blowing on
my-
it like a Nintendo cartridge.
Put it in my laptop. Why does it smell? Why does it smell? I'm just playing a few games on this. Why does it smell? Oh, right, the dumpster hard drive. Right. Let me continue on here.
Honey, what's that burning garbage smell every time you turn your laptop
Oh, right, the hard
on?
drive I got
Oh,
for
the hard
free.
drive I found in the dumpster.
500 gig hard drive.
Yeah. Did
A
you
little
know
tiny
that
itty bitty hard drive.
he's on the internet using the hard drive on the internet now? This fully restored computer that he's so happy.
Let me
He
rename
finally
this hard
has-
drive to Stinky Poo. My little stinky poo. My little workhorse. Oh, Stinky Poo's acting up again.
Save the hard drive, Stinky Poo. Oh shit!
The fact that we're naming hard drives one, and then the choice.
Yeah.
Whew.
What are you gonna name it? Prawn? Don't name it Prawn. That's too obvious.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god!
I did not think this dumpster story would take us this long. Super funny. I'm sorry,
This
guys.
dumpster story is like one of the most amazing things. Oh my God, I'm
man.
crying.
Gentlemen, people everywhere, label your stuff. Don't throw
Yeah.
things away if you think it's important.
Guys, yeah, lessons to be learned. Basically,
Yeah.
yo, honestly, Skinny, what is some stuff that you would tell somebody in IT? Basic things in your time that people should think of when they're working in IT.
Stinky poo. Save often
Yeah.
in documents. Backup. Have 2 or 3 backups of your stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm speaking out of not even having a backup of this, so I should.
That's don't worry. That's everybody. Even people that tell you, "Hey, you should back up."
Niggas ain't got no backup.
I didn't
Yeah.
bother.
It's true. You know what the
Don't feel
worst
too
is?
bad.
Anytime I buy a new phone, I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't backed up the old phone in like 2 years.
Jeez, true. I should do that.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's one of the things. When I buy new phones, I'm always like, oh yeah, I gotta back up this old phone just in case. And I always forget, like, oh yeah, I haven't been backing this up on the regular.
take
Right.
a day and do it.
Yeah.
yeah, that's really it.
Label stuff, save stuff often, and keep backups. Yeah, that
You'll
seems fair.
be surprised how turning stuff off and on fixes your problem.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, yo.
all day
Having
long.
worked in customer service for multiple companies, I will tell you, the IT crowd, that British show where he has the recording playing into the receiver, and he has the pauses in the time that people reply because it's set perfectly, and it literally ends with the call ends with him having resolved the issue, and he never spoke to the person. It's just a recording. Legit follow those steps. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Did you make sure it was plugged in the first place?
Oh yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, like some of those things,
Is it
man.
plugged
Yeah.
in? What do you
But
mean?
the
Oh,
worst is when they
check.
figure it out and then they come back at you and they're like, I already tried it. I already turned it off and on. You're like, all right, Snippy. It's like, I don't know. Easy. It's 9 a.m. I don't have time for this. Relax.
Yeah, anytime someone used to call me when I was on the customer service line, and the first thing I'd say is, "Oh, we're gonna try and power cycle the device," and they'd be like, "I already did that." I'm like, "Very well. So let's just power
Very
cycle
well.
that- let's just power cycle that device." And they're like, they get mad. I'm like,
my
just do it then.
favorite
Yeah.
my favorite meme is, it's like this person says, "Hey, can you turn off can you restart your machine?" Oh, I already did that. And then they remote into their machine, go to what do you call it again? They go to their task manager, and then they go to see how long the machine's been on, and it says it's been on for like
4 days.
yeah, like, it's been on for
Yeah.
like 2 million hours. Like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
really? You restarted your machine? Oh,
Oh no, I've done that to
That's
people in their face. I love doing that. Back when I had to deal with people, boy, what? Especially near the ending when I just didn't care. And it was like after COVID, so you're set in. It was 2021. You're fed up, bro. People would be like, my machine's just really, really slow. Did you try rebooting it? Yes, I've already tried rebooting it. Okay, cool. Team viewer, SSH, uptime. I'm like, oh yeah, 36 days, eh? Yeah. How about we just go ahead and restart that? And I'll literally
Yeah.
like, so if you reboot on them, it just cuts the connection between TeamViewer, obviously.
Yeah.
So they would see me go into their thing, go into their terminal, uptime 36. I would underline it with my mouse cursor for a bit, and then I would just go system CTO restart and just reboot on them. No communication after. I'd be like,
That's
out of here, man. I'm not playing with you.
fantastic.
Stop it. Stop playing with me.
Fantastic.
It's lunchtime.
Shout outs to all the
when
lazy
I had to
people.
deal with people like that, I would say in the ticket, please reboot your machine. You do know that the new updates come in on Wednesday, and they always tell you to reboot your machine on Wednesday. Once you reboot your machine, then I'll deal with you.
Yeah.
I am closing this ticket.
In that way, I was chill because I wouldn't make them seem foolish in the ticket. I would just be like, issue resolved, reboot machine. But like to them, they know what went down. So like, if I'm not going to air you out in this ticket, you can't say nothing about what I just did.
I'm airing you out. You're talking to me right now, wasting my time. Because then what happens is there's a paper trail of me telling you what to do.
Yeah.
And if you come back at me, I'll be like, here's the ticket. Follow what I said in that ticket.
Yeah.
I'm gonna link this ticket. This is what you should be doing. Leave me alone.
Link this ticket. Yeah. Wow.
I'm nice. People think I'm this tyrant, and I'm like, no. When you meet me, I'm super nice. My job is to get your stuff done. But if you're wasting my time with your nonsense, then I don't have time for that. I'm sorry.
But I will take some time to play with you a bit.
Yeah.
My joke to people is always, I'm a black man. And we don't live as long as you do. I don't have the time to play around with that. I don't have time to be nice to you. I need to get this shit done and get out.
I had this conversation this weekend where I was talking to someone about RRSPs. I was just like, how y'all gonna say RRSPs can only be accessed at 71 when black people barely live past that?
Like, oh, wait, what? What were we saying? Why do we die early, huh?
RRSPs can only be accessed at 71 because that's a retirement age.
Fuck
now,
all that.
right?
The thing about black people dying early.
Well, black people are like statistically have shorter lifespans, mostly because the healthcare systems don't look into our health issues legitimately. So we end up having higher states of hypertension and all these other things. Yeah, we diabetes. That has so much to do with like the redlining in community, food deserts. Like there's so many factors as to why
telling people that, hey, I'm really hurting right now. Oh, you're fine. Like they'll think just because you're black, you're just tough.
Yo,
like look at what's
did you know there's a study where they ask first year students, like med students, year and second year med students, and do you believe black people have a higher tolerance for pain? And like some 50 or 60% of them said yes.
Really?
What?
These are medical students who've never been shown any evidence in their medical training of this as a fact, but they just believe it as is. And that goes back to what you and I were saying when we talked about The Harder They Fall, when Regina King says that line, that's just between a rock and a hard place is just a choose, like what? Something like a Tuesday for us. And it's like, yes, because these medical students and the people in the community just see black people surviving against all odds, against all sorts of pain. Yeah. They think we can just deal with anything. So then that translates into the medical system. It translates into the redlining stuff. It translates into all this stuff. And then we don't live as long because the system doesn't try and help us as well. Whoa. And then you have the retirement age at 71. So that the fact that we don't get to 71 as often doesn't benefit us, that we're putting all this money into RRSPs that we won't even be able to access without penalties.
Remember that line from
Crazy
Message?
Remember that line from
you should still invest,
Childish Gambino's rap? He was like, we can't even make it to 50. And that was a line because Whitney Houston died, I think as she was 50 or before she was 50, and he was talking to Questlove about it, and he just like, yeah, we can't even make it to 50, man.
Yeah,
and he put that in his rap.
Right,
Dave? To 100. Fuck that.
Leave Dave alone.
My grandmother lived to my great grandmother lived to 105, so I don't really.
Of course she did.
To be fair, my grandfather lived to be 100 and something, and then I think he has a brother that's 100 and something. Like,
I know.
But he's in the West Indies. He's they're pretty.
No hustle. Yeah.
I would also imagine those statistics have more to do with like countries like the United States and Canada than it does in the Caribbean itself. Like I would say if you start to look at those stats in countries that are predominantly black, the stat probably looks very different. And you start to realize, the doctors who are from us understand us and help us more. Shocking.
No, 20 more years in them out, man.
yeah. So wild.
What up, Bearded?
That tangent.
Yeah.
Oh, great tangent.
Yo, educational tangent.
Yes, sir.
Folks, in the world of nerdy, fantastic stuff, I feel like we have to start with The Mandalorian. I didn't see it,
I didn't see it, and I'm
Yeah,
happy it's back, but I got.
but I just want to. Dave, can you give us a spoiler-free reaction to the season 3 premiere?
I would say it was pretty, considering that it was it's a hard dismount to follow because the last season obviously ended on a really big high, right?
Right. But we also had Boba Fett, which directly connects, right?
Yes, but
Right.
obviously, like, you know, with how it was reacting and whatnot, it's a little bit more. It's like I don't think you necessarily need to watch Boba Fett. Like, it's not.
Isn't
Like-
Boba Fett the one where he got the ship back and Grogu?
Well, that's what I'm
comes-
saying. Like, yeah, I mean, like, there's things in the background, right? But I'm saying that, like, from where you're at this point, you kind of know.
If you didn't watch Boba Fett,
where they start off
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
story,
saying.
right? Like, where they start off the story, right? Like, it starts off, well, like, obviously he has a new ship, right?
Right.
But, you know, it's like, well, the kid's still with me because I finished my mission and he still decided to do it. Like, this is at the beginning. This is just like the summary that he says at the beginning. So it's nothing.
Oh, so they do
not-
like a verbal, like,
yeah,
he just
like
kind of-
they like
Okay.
you like they're like anything that would have been important. They addressed it, so you didn't necessarily need to watch Boba
they just
Fett.
do all the
Although,
exposition in the show
Yeah,
itself to
exactly.
catch you up.
anything that was important, right?
Okay.
Anything
fair.
that you would consider important. I think overall I enjoyed it because it's like it made sense based off of the character, what he's going to be doing this season.
Cool.
And there was a twist that at the end I was a little surprised about, but I was like, all right, that's a kink in the plan, but cool.
right.
And I was a little bit like, aw, in the sense of like there's something that I was this is me trying not to spoil. There was something I was looking forward to that I'm like, oh, I guess that's not going to necessarily happen, at least not right now.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
right now. It's
But
not.
but
it's not
as
off the
a
table, but
return-
it's not right.
As a return, it was a good return.
Oh yeah, like it made
Because-
like by the end of the episode, I was like, well, yeah, gotta wait another freaking 7 days just to like watch the next. Like it's still
All right, yeah.
like
yeah,
you know,
it
it's
still has that.
still Mandalorian. It still
Yeah.
it still is like. Well, I don't.
That's
wanna stop
essentially what I was
now.
asking. Does it still
Like-
have the same Mando effect? of
Oh
like,
yeah,
oh,
100%.
snap. Okay. cool.
100%. And like there was also like in usual fashion, like they did a really good job of real versus CGI, and the CGI Mandalorian is better than that in Ant-Man 3. So
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So, but you're saying good practical effects,
of course, yeah.
as always.
But,
yeah, I mean,
as always.
Lucas and crew have always been good with practical effects, and even with the FX. So that's one of the advantages they have over a lot of the competitors. One of the reasons I think Disney wanted to buy them at the time, because they were one of the leaders in graphic stuff. Okay, that's cool. I'm excited for that. I'm looking forward to. I didn't even know it was coming back today. I completely forgot. I only saw it this morning when I was looking through my sources. So I'll probably be checking that out tomorrow, if not Friday. I do miss when Disney used to release stuff on later in the week.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
preferred
Or
it on
whatever.
Friday because you're like
Yeah.
you're trying, like, you know, it's a nice thing to have for the weekend.
Yeah,
Type
because
thing.
everything got moved to Wednesdays out. Like they just do all releases Wednesdays. They don't.
Yeah,
they completely
is-
moved it.
Did they even finish Bad Batch season 2?
It's still currently going. I didn't watch today's episode because I watched Mandalorian first.
Right.
I got mad when they changed.
But
your
I've been
seat, but
enjoying Bad Batch too. Like Bad Batch,
Yeah.
like at first I thought it was a little all over the place this season. Like I was just like, what's going on? But
Yeah.
then they
Yeah.
they webbed it afterwards, right?
Yes.
So I was
yes,
like,
yes.
so I'm guessing Brian,
Okay.
you've seen it as well.
Yeah, I've liked. I'll agree. I think that the way they played it, of kind of like telling us little stories that felt almost procedural in nature. Because you know
Mhm.
how like a lot of these shows are serialized. Like there's a story throughout. There's a thread throughout the whole story. But all of a sudden, this season of Bad Batch, it's like this mission, then this mission, then this mission. Then they ended up with one in a cave with the like kind of the like archaeologist cave hunter voiced by Wanda Sykes, who
Mhm.
does a great job as that character.
Yep.
But that episode felt so out of the blue because it didn't feel connected to anything. And then you all of a sudden start getting like a bunch of stories that are like a serialized thing. Like this is happening because of this and this and this and this. And
Yeah.
you start to, and again, as always, the Bad Batch is taking advantage of the lore that they've already built, and they're building up to all the things that we saw in the movies. So You're explaining why the things with the clones went the way they did. You're explaining how Palpatine is so fucking smart. Like Palpatine is like 10 steps ahead of everybody at chess. It's so interesting. Like, and when they realize that he's playing them, they're like, they don't even get mad. They're just like, he's just smart. Like they're
like it's more like it's like we're backed up in a corner and we can't, like, if we do anything now the way we want to, he'll just crush us. Whereas maybe if we band together and figure this out, we can maybe overthrow him. You know, it's like it was interesting. It's interesting
because you see how the rebellion starts to build, not because he was ruling with an iron fist at first. Well, he is kind of ruling with an iron fist, but he's not being as aggressive. He's just being very smart politically and making moves that anyone who's countering doesn't seem coming. And they're just like, oh, he just made that move for us to make this move so he could do this move. And then you're just like, shit, that's impressive. And even me, when I was watching the episode, I was like, oh, that was good. That was well done. And I'm not even mad at Palpatine. And I know Palpatine is the devil. Like that dude.
Yeah, exactly. And you're like he is evil.
Palpatine is an evil motherfucker. And you're watching the show and you're just like, you know what, sir? I'm impressed.
Yeah, you have like a few like
yeah. You have golf clap moments of like you're like, well played. Yeah.
Praising the enemy, you know?
Yeah, full on. Yes, I'm excited. You know, Star Wars stuff. I know some people are still upset about all the Star Wars stuff. They feel that it's not necessarily going in the exact direction they want. Supposedly, we're going to get some sort of update soon about the cinematic Star Wars stuff because they've been focusing so heavily on TV.
They got to fix. They got to.
To be honest, I don't need the
movies. Just chill. Yeah, I'm good.
They got to retcon those, like, I don't know. I
leave it.
7 was acceptable, but I found everything else that happened after 7. Like,
but at this point, they've like, do you even like
far? You
don't even need it. Just let it be what it is and continue telling good stories with the TV shows.
Yeah,
I mean, because you have Star Wars, the legacy stuff, like, or the extended universe stuff, which was all the stuff before Disney bought it. Then Disney bought it and rewrote the universe. So you have the extended legacy stuff, you have the current Star Wars universe, and then you want them to do what? Go back and redo a new version of the 7, 8, 9 line? Well, what's the point? Like, you're not going to make 3 versions of the universe, so just leave it at this point. It sucks. It was unfortunate, but you have to move past it. Tell better stories in the past, maybe.
Isn't the extended universe now called Legends?
Yes.
So
Star Wars Legends.
Basically, they can dip into it if they want to, or they can take elements of them if they want to. But it's not canon. But it's like, oh, I may have heard something.
Right.
You know, like I think that's the kind of,
because who's that blue-skinned general that is
General Thawne?
Yeah. Thawne is originally a Legends character that they brought back.
Yeah.
So at this point, you have the Legends that you can, pluck and use, and we might get what's her name, Luke Skywalker's wife, something Jade, that everyone was used to be obsessed with. I don't remember her name exactly. Sorry, Star Wars fans. I know some of y'all are screaming at your screens.
What about the lightsaber wielding Solo kid? It was a girl.
There's a bunch of stuff that hopefully we'll get to see in some different version. Distant cousin, who knows? But like, the stuff's there, the story's there. Ahsoka's coming. We got Obi-Wan, which I still think was decent. Some people hated, but
I liked Obi-Wan.
Yeah, I think Star Wars
hate too much. That's the problem, bro.
Yeah, I think Star Wars is kind of just they're doing well.
It. Jaina Solo.
What's her name?
Jaina Solo.
Okay.
Yeah, she was like a pilot, but then she also had like a lightsaber, and she was like super badass and
Force sensitive too.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Like all to treat them, the trifecta. She had it all.
Oh, that is pretty dope. Yeah. A Jedi Force sensitive pirate.
They made a toy of her but Black Series figs aren't great, so
yeah. I have like 2 or 3 Black Series figs that I'm like, these are nice, but I don't know what to do with them.
Does a character have a name? Did they appear in the background? There's a Star Wars toy of that.
Oh yeah.
They got you.
Star Wars is like the wildest for that. My buddy has a book that is every Star Wars character or race ever. And the book is like literally it's scenes where it's like it zooms in on someone who's standing in the background behind a tree, like poking their head out like this, and they're like,
That's a
person
person.
is this race and has a description of the race. And it's like, what? This does it have anything to do with the story? No, but it
Nope.
exists, and we wanted to tell you about it.
We documented it.
Yes,
They were
exactly.
the first to document, like the Wikipedia.
Intense. The Star Wars universe is intense with that stuff. Like, and it, you know, if anything, it's a template for any other universes trying to build, because those guys don't fuck around. Like, they're
My
fans.
favorite is that the fact that they tell you, oh, this guy appeared here, 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 in the backgrounds of this.
Yeah. That's wild.
They're very meticulous.
Yo, that's some dedicated fans, boy.
Straight up.
What else did you guys watch recently?
Ooh.
I saw we have a ghost.
I saw
with,
that. David
oh.
Harbour.
Yeah,
Anthony
and Anthony
Mackie.
Mackie and I can't. I'm gonna butcher his name. Jai Diallo Winston. I
Yeah, you
think
got
that's how
it.
you say
Okay,
Okay.
sound close enough.
Yeah, no, they that was a pretty good movie. Like in the sense that like I thought I watched. So it's so just for people who are listening, not too much of a spoiler, but it's basically a story where a family moves into a house.
Yeah.
And there's a ghost, and like one of their sons kind of is befriending the ghost and kind of trying to understand. Let's say, I think understand the ghost is the best way to say without like over spoils. And like at first you're like an hour in, you're like, where is this kind of going? Because it's a little bit all over the place.
Yes.
And you're getting a little bit of feels of so many different genres.
Thank you. Because I'll let you finish.
Go. Okay, no, so because for me, me and my partner, we so happened to stop and we like got food and then came back and we were like, you know, maybe another 10 minutes of this, and like it's not somewhere. I don't know what we're gonna do.
So I didn't take a break. I when I started watching the movie, I was just like, this is a fun, like, weird little Netflix comedy. This is a weird Netflix horror comedy. This is a weird Netflix horror comedy thriller. This is a weird Netflix horror comedy thriller crime investigation.
What?
/
science fiction / Ghostbusters
/ family movie.
Yeah,
drama
/ family dynamic movie /
like
rom-com / coming of age story. And
there
I
was
like,
there was so
yeah,
much.
God.
But when we came back, because that's what you feel for like about an hour of the movie, and then it really just, I don't know how, but it just like, it's like all these weaves, and then all of a sudden it makes a tree. Like it's like I don't understand.
Yeah, it's like Tetris. Like it all of a sudden there's a point where someone drops in that one brick that goes, everything just sinks in, and it's like, oh, it starts to make sense, and you're like, man, I don't understand what or how or who did what in what scene that this is making sense now. But Anthony Mackie's annoying ass character at the beginning has somehow become this redeemable father figure, and you're like, when did you do that? How did you go? Anthony Mackie goes from being a pyramid scheme type dad to a loving father who would fight anyone to save his kid,
and
you're
kind
like,
of a douchebag.
Yeah,
he's also very much a douchebag, and not that like for all. He just like,
yes,
I'm not a douchebag anymore.
Tig Notaro is playing this like conspiracy theorist weirdo nut, but then later on is in the CIA, and you're like, what? Wait, how is this going on?
When did that happen?
Yo, honestly.
And
so
like,
it is definitely, that's a good description, Dave, because it really is this weird thing of like, I have no clue what I'm watching.
I have no idea. And the funny thing is, because there's a twist at the end of the movie, and because you're so spellbound by trying to understand what you're watching, I found the twist caught me from a surprise. But if the movie was more direct, I would have been like, whatever, clearly this, you know. But then like you get to the end, you're like, yeah, fucking right. True. True. True.
Yeah, if the movie had kept the one like style theme throughout the whole movie of that ending, then it would have been predictable. But because 100%. They had like a car chase scene with a ghost like morphing through and like
during daytime, and
then like,
but it has to be in cars to travel. Like I'm so confused.
But then you have, dude. Honestly, I don't know what I watched. By the end of the movie, by the end of the
don't
movie.
know.
And then you end the movie and you have one of those like Lord of the Rings almost, because it's like the movie ends, but then you have like another ending that at first I was just like, end the movie, man. And then it's like
It's like it gets you. No, it's
Wow.
exactly Lord of the Rings.
the
It gets you
movie,
in the
man.
fields,
yeah,
and you think it's over, and then they do
Yes.
this lull of like not
and
as
you're-
long as Lord of the Rings, but this lull of
Yeah.
like, yo, man, like I was done. I
Yeah.
was my investment
I
ended
was
there with
about
my
to-
like single teardrop. I'm cool.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's funny.
I was about to be like, okay, can I go to the bathroom now? Like, stop. Oh, there's 5 minutes. What? Why do you need 5 more minutes? What's happening? Weird, but ultimately, because it is so wild and kind of all over the place, I would recommend it because
100%.
I have never seen someone write a movie so poorly and make something this entertaining. That's my
They should
take.
write a Marvel
I feel-
movie.
Yeah.
But it was I would strongly recommend to watch it. It was really
All right.
it was pretty good acting. I found on a good amount of parts from
Yeah,
the people.
yeah. I
Like-
think Tig was great. I think Anthony was great. The kids were great. The mom was so cute. The mom was also on what's that show on Netflix with the whole family moves in with their grandmother and the grandfather.
Oh, yeah.
That 90s show.
No.
Yeah.
Papa Netflix original.
Yes.
My family.
It was with Tia, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tia Mowry. I can't remember the name of the show right now.
Can't remember
But
his
Sister,
show.
sister?
No,
it
but
wasn't
she has a
Sister.
new show.
Oh, okay.
She had a new show that was after the game, or actually no, because Tamara was in the game. Damn, what?
I don't know which is which.
Damn,
I'm
twins
not
at
gonna
work
pretend.
simultaneously.
Yeah.
At least the two girls from Sweet Valley High, one of them sit down,
Yeah.
and then the other one just
Yeah,
keeps
yeah.
working, and she's in all the black shit now.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Oh, wow. Yeah,
How'd
I know
that
who you're
happen?
talking about.
You know
I
what I mean?
exactly
So
who you're
funny.
talking
Yes,
How
that
the
is
girl
exactly
from Sweet Valley
true.
High is now in all the black shit, like all of it.
She was in the game too, no? Didn't she play
Right,
the wife?
exactly. She
Yeah.
was in the game. She played the
The
wife
blonde
of that
one,
dude.
right?
Yeah,
Yes,
the
the blonde
blonde,
one.
Yeah.
But then the other
Okay.
sister, she sat
Just-
down. She's
yeah,
like,
just
I'm chill,
ducked
I'm
out.
good. She
She's
ducked
like,
out.
I don't need to do this.
But Tia and Tamara, both of them out here working. You're just like, wait, you on the show or you on the game? I don't know what's happening.
I don't know which is which.
Roger. Anyways.
When do you dye your hair blonde so I can tell you apart? I don't know.
Go
Real
on,
quick,
Roger.
real quick, I want to tell you guys about Luther, Fallen Son,
Ooh.
Netflix series that is out in theaters right now. The Netflix is doing
Series
this.
or
Wait,
that?
it's
That's
in
the movie.
Theaters?
The
It's a movie,
Yeah.
All right.
right? But Netflix is doing that whole, hey, let's release things in theaters for a week for some odd
But it's
reason.
Luther. It's like a British show. How do you?
Yeah,
you
so
can't do
BBC
that.
Films made it. Andy Serkis is in it. Idris Elba is fantastic in it. Cynthia Evriro, I think that's how you say her name, is great in it. The boss, as Luther calls him, the dude, the white dude with glasses that was like his boss throughout the whole
Oh yeah,
series.
yeah. His
He's
his
back.
commanding officer from before.
Right.
That just lets him
And-
run. Just lets him do whatever he
Yeah.
like.
Dude, wrong.
I
I
don't
really-
like what you do, Luther, but
Yes.
I got
which-
you. Don't worry. I'll cover for you. Don't go.
My favorite part of this, my favorite part of this film, and it's not a spoiler. I'm pretty sure they show it in the trailer. Actually, maybe I won't say exactly.
Is okay. I could tell you what's in the trailer.
Yes.
So the new head of was it investigation something detective or something like
Sure.
that, CID something like that. She's black and she goes to see his old commanding officer who's retired.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Yo, I need to find Luther." And he's like, "I don't know where he is because he's in jail. Like
Yes.
he should
Okay,
be
good.
in jail." And she's like, no, he's not." And he's like, "Of course not."
Yeah. Okay,
'Cause
good.
he
So you guys
escaped
know he's in
somehow or
jail.
something.
So the one thing that I think is cool is it's for a good long time they've made all these cop shows. Cop shows have been a thing forever, and now that we've gotten to a point where we're just like, man, the cops really abuse the shit out of the world, and we need to kind of control them a little bit because they're out here just acting wild. Luther as a show is great, but Luther as a cop, if you were to look at what he does, is horrible. He's not a good
yeah,
cop. Like
wild man.
he really does anything he wants to do, and you really should like rein him in. But like Jaws was saying, Boss Man was just like, it's cool. I'm just gonna turn the other cheek and let you do what you're doing. So the fact that the movie addresses the fact that hey, you can't just be this kind of cop and get away with it. And it actually comes out, he gets caught for a lot of the stuff that he does. He gets arrested and goes to
Break
prison. is really funny.
No, I'm laughing just because I think I saw the first 2 seasons of Luther and then I just kind of lost track of it, and I wanted to get back into it because I think CBC Gem has all the seasons.
All the
I think.
Luther.
dope.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to get back into it, which never got around to it. And just seeing this trailer, I'm like, wait, he's in jail. Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, right. He was violating these streets.
Yeah.
There was one where he knew there was like a rapist, murderer or something. There's like a GIF online of him with a toque, and he's just walking like, So the reason he's walking like that, because he's kind of concealing himself.
Yeah.
Because he's walking up to the dude who always manages to sweet talk his way out of everything. And he smashes his nose in, breaks his nose so that blood gets on, because they couldn't get his DNA.
Yeah.
So he literally like puts shades on, pull down the
God damn.
just hits him with the front forward palm fist, and then
could kill someone
swipes
doing
his
that.
nose to get the blood off of him, and just keeps rolling.
Sample. Right.
Just keeps rolling. So the guy's on the floor, like, oh, the fuck, and then he just like got his DNA.
And this is a regular ass
Jane Luther.
and that's the thing.
What do you mean?
As a show, you're just like, you're rooting for Luther because you're just like, yeah, you're gonna catch the bad guy, because you do want the cops to catch the rapists and the murderers. But then you watch the show and you're just like, if the cops can't get the evidence properly and legally, you cops can't go around punching people in the face to get their blood.
No, that's not a
but
punch in the face. That's a
Especially
like a hard on. That's
attempted murder.
Hard on assault.
What did they
But
say
like
in that?
he's purposely like making sure you don't know it's him.
Yeah.
So I think this guy was going on a jog and then bop.
But it's great. I mean, Luther is a great show, and it was always fun to watch. And this movie is really entertaining. Like,
What's
I
that line
highly
in Shook
recommend.
One? Stab your brain with your nose bone.
yeah, I remember that.
He either did the front palm or he hits him with something and he gets him to bleed somehow.
I like the one where he fights the like hooligan teens on the motorcycles. What? I think that's in a later season.
I didn't get that deep into
where
it.
He's like fighting. He's like he's just like he's outside
Streets
of
of
like
rage on the streets of fire, streets of rage over here, man.
He's, outside of one of those like British like complexes, the like the estates. He's outside of an estate and starts fighting this like whole gang of kids, and you're like, God damn, Luther! Some of those kids are children. They're actually kids. Like some of them are young, but some of them were actually kids, and you're beating people up. It's like, well,
because I remember, because from something I remembered about that show is like I think the first season came out, and it's usually just a series one and done.
Yeah.
And then when they released it in the States like North America really like, whoa, this is so cool. And British is like, this is like the 5th show we've seen like this.
Yeah.
Why are you guys wild? Why are you guys enjoying this? And they're like, oh, the States like, okay, let's, and then it picked up from there, and it kept going and going and going.
Yeah.
So I think
I love Luther seasons. They're like 4 episodes.
Like, I know it's not long. Yeah, they're not long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say check it out. The movie's fun. The music's fun. They did a remix with a different artist for the Massive Attacks Paradise Circus.
Oh yeah, that's
so
true.
that's it. It's really really nice, the new version. And Andy Serkis is insane. He's so good in the role. It was a little awkward at first. I had to get used to seeing him with the kind of like weird makeup and stuff he was doing, but then I realized that's part of the character. Like he's trying to disguise himself in situations. So I was like, oh, that makes way more sense, because it was really really weird at first when you saw him. But nah, man, it was cool. And the story's interesting, like what they're trying to do and what they're addressing, like cybersecurity type stuff that you wouldn't expect Luther to be investigating, but then because of something he does earlier on, he feels a necessity to see this through. So it was fun.
Cool.
And like for me, there's a little bit of headcanon. Like what's going to be the trilogy of Andy Serkis messing with black people's trilogy?
Oh, interesting. Why? What's the other ones?
Well, he has Black Panther, where he was Claw.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Claw.
He's Ulysses Claw, and then this one, which
Idris.
is Luther.
Yeah,
So then
Luther.
what's his next black lead foil going to be?
Black, yeah.
Not because I also have a headcanon for Ryan not Gosling, the other one, Ryan
Reynolds?
Reynolds. That's it. Like, which other old black man's gonna punk him out? You have Safe House.
Yeah, with
Mhm.
and he's in
Safe House
Denzel
with him and Denzel Washington.
yeah.
Then you have the Hitman's Bodyguard, and then the Hitman's bodyguard's wife,
yeah.
or something like
Wife,
that.
yeah.
But I want another
So
old.
now he
black
just has to
man.
do one with Lawrence Fishburne or Morgan Freeman.
So
Oh,
I would say
Forrest
probably.
Whitaker?
I would say probably Lawrence Fishburne, because I think Morgan Freeman's not looking to move around a lot anymore.
Okay,
So I
but
think
you might be able to get Whitaker.
maybe Whitaker,
Hmm.
someone that's still got some moves in them, you know?
Yeah, Fishburne's sitting down. He's playing grandpas now. I love that.
True.
Aw.
Yeah.
He's doing voice work. He's the Beyonder in the new Moon
Well,
Girl.
no, he's gonna be in Fishburne. He's gonna be in the
John
next
Wick
Wick-
4?
Yeah,
Yeah, but
for
he's
sure.
not doing anything. John
Yeah,
Wick
he's not
4.
fighting though.
yeah. of
Remember
course.
the last
Yeah, of
movie?
course.
Like
But that's what
even
we're saying.
John
He's
Wick.
not an action star. He's not doing the action
Wow.
scenes in the action.
Yeah,
movies anymore.
he's okay now. He's like, I got that out of my system.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
a match.
Yeah. I'm all right.
Oh, maybe what's his name? Oh my goodness, he was Blade.
Wesley.
Snipes.
Wesley still. Oh,
It's
the
crazy
next
that-
person should. The
it's
next
funny
person
that-
should be Michael Jai White. That's
Yes.
that's
They
the
need to get him.
Oh.
They need to cast him to
he's not
something for
old.
something
He's
before he
not
gets
old.
older.
He's
but-
not old, but
He's not old, but that
guys,
be the dude.
I love him, but he's not selling the tickets. Let's be
Not
honest.
anymore,
I'm
no.
sorry. I'm
He'd
sorry.
be a
he's
sick
still
bishop
good.
if they tap him early.
If you guys are putting like Sam Jackson, Denzel, the next movie can't be Michael Jai White. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude.
Spawn
I'm just
from
saying
forever
that's-
ago.
But I'm
Yeah,
just saying
like-
he actually has the chops to fight and stuff like that.
For sure. I'm just saying, if we're gonna put Ryan Reynolds on a list of here's your trilogy, that third one is straight to video. If it's Michael Jai White,
Jeez.
I love you, Michael Jai White.
Yeah.
Under
I
the
know
bus.
you-
Yeah,
If ever
legend.
if ever they do Bronze Tiger as a live action, yo, bring him
Bro,
back.
that was 10 years ago.
He did
And he
that.
still could do it. That's the thing. He's that good. That's what I'm saying. But I don't.
Nigga says Bronze Tiger.
Hilarious. So, kids, are we going? Are we doing one more segment? Or are we going to news?
News it up.
News it up.
News. We could do news.
Kids, geek news and rumors. This week we have The Machine. The Red Band trailer is dropped. If you guys haven't had a chance to check it out, I would say go check it out. We're gonna try and put some of these trailers in the description of the YouTube, so you guys can click on them and watch them. That way you know what we're talking about. Ted Lasso season 3 official teaser has dropped with Apple TV Plus. Once again, Apple TV Plus is doing something a little cut above. Don't forget that the dude who is now I'm going to say person because I'm not even sure if it's a guy, but the person who's now doing head of content over there used to be at HBO. So the content you're seeing on Apple TV Plus, if it feels like HBO from a couple of years ago, it makes sense because it is the person that used to be there. We have Peter Pan and Wendy. The official Disney Plus trailer dropped for that. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm kind of tired of them doing this, but Tinkerbell is being played by, what's her name? The girl from Grownish and Blackish.
Okay.
Oh, man. Why am I drawing a blank on her name?
I forgot
Right-
her name. I'm sorry
I
to
know.
say.
She's fantastic, too. But watch out, world. I'm grown now. Yara Shahidi. There we go. So Yara Shahidi is playing Tinkerbell. I'm amazed we have not heard more racist, insane rants about a black Tinkerbell like we did when we heard about black
Hey,
Ariel.
They don't care about Tinkerbell like that like they do about Ariel.
I got to say something about Black Ariel. All that humming and hawing is by very young people because everyone forgot about was it No Ordinary Love music video by Sade, where she was literally Ariel in that music. Go look up that music video. She plays a mermaid, and it's she's like, hey, we already had an Ariel, and she sang really well and everything. Sade, so get the hell out of here. This ain't nothing new for anybody that's old enough to remember Sade.
Sade is fantastic. Shame on them for ever being mad at anything. But Peter Pan and Wendy, I saw the trailer. I don't know. How many times are you going to tell the Peter Pan story? Like,
True.
It's free.
Like,
I know
Right.
that's the thing.
It's
That's the
free.
thing.
right, bro.
The,
Wow.
the
Jaws
problem,
hit it. It's free.
it's
That's why
free.
it's boring.
It's free, but like if anything, like finally make a series of film. If you're gonna
And
do that, I'm tired of an
drag-
origin story type.
Yeah, that's
thing
fair.
all
That
the time.
too.
Well, I don't.
Because
I
like
don't
for
think
example,
this-
like Hook, like you've proven that you can do
Yeah, you
Beyond.
can go further
more
in the
than
story.
the origin story.
Say what, Jaws?
I remember watching something about Peter Pan, the old TV show Peter Pan and the Pirates or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think there's an actual family that owned the rights, and then they gave the rights to a children's hospital. So anytime you would use it, you would pay money to this children's hospital, basically.
That's
But I
fantastic.
think, I guess the way Disney wants people to think about their Peter Pan whenever they do Peter Pan, so she's always going to wear green. Always got to be Tinkerbell. She's got to wear this like
Yeah,
dress thingy with the
yeah.
blonde
Suit,
hair and,
yeah.
and the ponytail in the back.
Yeah.
But technically, Peter Pan is a public domain character now.
Yeah.
So, but for the most part, they'll always like try to no. Our Peter Pan is our Peter Pan. They want you to forget everybody
Sure.
else, kind of
It's
thing.
just that their Peter Pan is boring. You've done the story so many times. Like just re-release the damn thing with the deluxe edition instead of hiring a full fucking cast of people to retell the
I
same.
think
stupid
if
story.
the reason they do it is so they can retain the movie rights or
Oh, for
something like
sure.
that. That's
Yeah,
always it's always a
Some kind of
business thing
rights.
going on with it.
Right.
And
It
I don't know.
just sucks that-
I liked Hook. I don't care what anyone
Yeah,
says.
Hook
People
was
say Hook was
great.
bad.
Yeah,
I was
Hook
like,
was
no,
bad.
Hook's got
that's-
some memorable stuff.
But that's what I'm
People
saying.
move on and grow up.
Dave's point is super valid. We've
Mhm.
seen that Hooked and can continue the legacy and would be super interesting to be like, so what happens next? Even if you
Yeah.
do it from a different perspective, like if you do it different from Hook, but you do what happens next after Wendy and all that stuff, what happens next? But instead, we keep getting the origin story over and
Or a
over.
prequel. I remember the last one, Pan, I think, was a prequel.
Pan was
I never,
terrible,
I
yeah.
never saw
That came out. No one even cared.
That was when
Yeah.
like
Was that
Pan,
also
Peter
Disney?
Pan and Captain Hook met before, and it was the pirate was Blackbeard.
Oh,
But,
okay.
but that's the thing, though. It's like for me, it's like even at that though, like if you think about the Peter Pan lore, it's like
Mythos.
every time someone will just tell the original story because it's always he brings Wendy all the people over, they meet the various characters, they fight Hook, he runs away. Hook runs away. He's not killed or anything. So it's like you like just bridge, if anything, bridge the gap between the origin story and Hook. You have
Yeah.
things to do.
Disney, stop being boring. You have all this money. Last but not least, but maybe at least in my eyes, Die Hard 2, Die Harder. Die Hard 1 was a Quibi movie that was
So
divided.
Kevin Hart. There's a Kevin Hart movie. So Hard Die Hard. Die Hard.
Yeah. But it was on Quibi. It was with John Travolta and Natalie Emmanuel. It was divided into like what 10 or 12 10-minute episodes. I don't know why Quibi thought doing movies like that made sense. Quibi never made sense. And there's a reason it's gone. And the fact that Die Hard 1 just popped up on Prime the other day, I was just like, oh yeah, they're doing promo. I'm like, why though? This movie sucked. And then this trailer dropped, and I was like,
Well,
ugh,
remember Roku
Roku.
bought all of Quibi's
yes,
back catalog.
Roku has the entire back catalog for Quibi. Still a huge mistake. It all sucked. The only good show on that was Nikki Fresh with Nicole Richie, and that was somewhat funny. And maybe Dummy, the one that was about Dan Harmon's girlfriend who was friends with Dan Harmon's sex doll.
What?
Yeah.
What?
What?
Yes.
What the ass?
These are
No.
these
Show
are
and
the
a half
shows
for
that
your
were on
ass.
Quibi, guys. Do you understand why it got shut down?
Can someone tell me why Kevin Hart has the time to be in all of these?
So this thing is just basically he wants to be an action star.
Right.
And so the whole premise of it is him trying to learn to become an action star kind of thing. And for people to take him seriously as an action star.
That's the first one.
That's the
you're
first
describing.
one.
Yeah.
So in the second one, something happens where it seems, according to the trailer, it seems like
He's
it's
trying to
happening
sell
again, but
he's
it
trying
seems
to
like it's go
Yeah.
on.
He's trying to sell them a
movie.
new movie
Mm.
is the thing.
So
Which
he's
is
trying
the-
to sell this new movie, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I could be an action star, and then something happens where he's trying to pitch it to this executive or this producer,
Right.
and he ends up taking out everybody. And he's like, no, I planned this. I paid for all this. Yeah, I said I had you believe in that I was not. And he's like, you're a jerk. You almost thought I was gonna die. Screw you.
Yeah.
And then something happens where someone is actually trying to kill him or something like that.
Yeah.
And they kidnap the same producer, and he's like, no, this. Don't worry about this. This is like fake reality. And then it turns out, no, it's real. He got like shot in the side and stuff.
Yeah, because Natalie Emmanuel worked for the production company in the first one, and she was doing or she's the actress that's working for the production company. They don't. His character doesn't know that they're filming the movie in the first one. He thinks while he's being trained that all of this is just training for him to be an action star, but they're actually filming a movie of his training to turn that into a film. So he doesn't know what's going on. And that's the joke of the first one, which wasn't good. It's not funny in the first one when they're doing it. John Travolta's character is psychotic in it. You're like, what the fuck's going on? So now that they're doing the second one, he's doing the same thing that was done to him to other people. And I'm like, dude, the whole lesson in the first one was this is a bad idea. People almost got killed. And then you're doing the same thing. So, yeah, I don't know.
So the cast they have in it is John Cena, Ben Schwartz, and Paula Pell. I don't know if people remember Paula Pell from AP Bio.
Which one were they?
She's like the one that helps out. What's his name? Hold on a second. I'm just getting into AP Bio here.
Girl 5 Ever. She's the star that's in Girl 5 Ever also. The white hair. She's the assistant in AP Bio.
AP Bio, she's like Patton Oswalt's the principal's assistant, basically.
Yeah.
But she's in a lot of comedy shows. It's just her hair changes and you don't realize it's her. Yeah. And she's playing a different character.
She's good in Girls 5 Ever. If you guys haven't watched that show.
I think she plays Ron Swanson's mom in Parks and Rec.
Oh, hilarious. Okay.
Which is crazy.
That's so funny. So yeah, those are all the things. As you can tell, no original stories under the sun. Everything that we've mentioned in the new trailers is a sequel or a continuation. No one's trying to make anything.
Wait. What about The Machine? How's that a sequel?
A sequel to a joke.
Yeah, it's a movie from a joke.
Yeah, but it's not an original. Like he's told the story, and now they're just instead of doing
they're dramatizing the story.
Yeah, and his dad is played by Luke Skywalker.
Fantastic, Mark Hamill. Let's get it. But
Mark Hamill doing finally not the Joker
I still
Luke Skywalker. He's playing a dad. We actually get to see him act.
I get that, Jaws. I just want something new that I've never fucking heard before. Can I get something new, please? Because everything is a continuation, a sequel.
You do know when you get something new, you've never heard of it, and it's canceled already.
I would still rather
whatever you wanted.
Netflix got it and canceled it.
Dude, I would rather get the show for one season and you cancel it than to give me the same stories you've been telling me.
Don't do that.
Fine.
Underground.
I will give you something. Look up the movie Un Prophète.
Un quoi?
Un Prophète.
Un Prophète.
The Prophet?
The Prophet. Look up that movie.
Okay. Is it
and watch
movie?
it. It's a very good movie. Amazing movie.
Original idea?
Else.
No.
I would say so, yeah.
Homie, don't do this. I'm not saying this is a podcast.
Okay, fine.
Sell it to me. What do you mean? I'm gonna see this movie. I'm not telling you anything else.
That is a French movie that came out in the 2000s, maybe 2005 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's about a guy who goes to jail, and as he's in jail, he gets taken under the wing of like this mafia guy, and he's slowly starting learning the ropes and everything like that, and it picks up from there.
Okay. All right.
That's it.
That sounds more interesting than half the shit we just talked about.
Because I don't want to go more into the movie, but like
your 2-minute description of a movie I've never heard of sounds more interesting than me seeing Mark Hamill and Bert tell us a continuation of a joke he said 10 years ago shirtless on stage.
Well, he's always shirtless. Not 10 years ago shirtless. It's his gimmick. He's always shirtless.
He's been shirtless, fine. But it's just like, yay, we're getting more of these stories. You know what? I would even take Bert telling me an original story over him continuing this one. And I like the actor that's starring in it. I'm not mad at Bert. I'm mad at the people who told Bert you're gonna make money off of this. That's the part.
Well, no, I don't. I think either he was working on this script for a while and then he found, okay, I got it to a place where I can actually make a movie. But like, I think for the most part, I don't think he was like, I'm gonna make this a movie. He was just like, this is part of my act. I do not want to squander this. It's a really good story.
It's a
really
great
silly,
story.
you
If
know?
you guys don't know what we're talking about, hopefully we can find the link to that story, the original piece, because it is actually
They
a
showed the
very
clip in
funny
the trailer.
story. Yeah, but they show clips of it, but I mean the whole proper thing as part of the stand-up was good. And I remember the original time I saw it, I was just like, this is fantastic. I laughed my ass off. But that, to me, turning a story like that into a movie is like when you made Coneheads. It's a sketch that gets turned into a film.
Sorry, the whole movie isn't just him and that trip. Then there's
it's the continuation of it.
Yeah, then it's like 10 years later, and people think like he's this thing, and then they drag him in. So that's the other part. That's the original part. Yeah,
but that's what I was saying. There are no original ideas because you were like, it's an original idea. I was like, no, it's a sequel to a stand-up sketch he did 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, again, the whole thing with anything in the movie industry or even TV is that they want to make sure they make back their money. And they're not going to make something where they feel like, people don't really know what it is. People don't want to take a risk on it.
There you go. You hit the nail on the head.
And then, so, I mean, if you want original stuff, then just go to Blumhouse.
Yeah. A24 Blumhouse.
Sorry to say, go to horror, go to that way.
But that's
like,
the thing.
They're really pumping them out. They're trying.
The only place with original stories can't be horror. They can't be the only ones, guys. You got it. Like, the rest of y'all need to step up.
There's that, and also I think Matt Damon said there's no more room to make those little small like movies for adults because just there's no money in it anymore.
Yeah,
sadly, it's not the 90s. It's not the 90s where you're gonna get a Mallrats or Clerks or this or that, like all that stuff that used to come out. Blah blah blah.
I mean, you're telling me what the problem is. I'm saying the solution is take some fucking risk, Hollywood.
Well, I mean, risk. No.
Yeah, like what are
this
you
is a business,
about?
man.
Did
I
you
need my
hear
money
about
back.
Disney's billions? Like you think they
These
want
investors
risk?
ain't playing, man.
True.
So they
it's hard.
have.
It's hard. I feel like they are trying, and stuff is coming out, but it's not good or
you
gets canceled.
Yeah,
I'm saying they're trying, and
I don't know.
It's not sticking.
If you could give me the examples of them trying, I'll watch them because I haven't seen them trying hard.
I also feel like they need to do it without hating on other things that are successful because
that too.
Yeah, I'm getting tired. Like as I said before on Twitter, the Marvel MCU is now the John Cena of the movie industry. Whereas it's cool to hate them because of their success.
Yes.
So instead of being mad, just everybody else get good. And, and that's it. Like we could have a good time.
This is it. Everyone's shitting on these guys over here for doing something
hard.
Yeah, every second article is like Marvel's losing their steam. Nah, y'all still suck.
Why try hard? If
Ant-Man is. They did lose their steam with Ant-Man.
Haven't seen it yet.
But that I don't know if that's as much them losing their steam as they just didn't write the right script.
It's the third movie. Name me a third movie that was good.
Ragnarok, but I mean, we know, there's exceptions, but that's the point. Yeah. But that
did everyone here see Ant-Man?
Civil War?
I saw Ant-Man.
I don't know. I've heard people saying positive stuff about it, and they're saying people are too harsh.
Oh no, I saw it. People are not being too harsh. There's like huge flaws in that movie.
Oh, okay. Well,
Kang is great, but
you guys had already discussed this movie that time that I missed the show.
No.
Oh fuck! I'm talking about it next week.
Kids,
gentlemen,
we say goodbye. We beg the industry to step up.
Yeah.
We thank the fans for supporting us.
Yeah.
And we will try to continue to be original in our commentary on them not being original. It just is what it is. Anything you guys want to tell people?
Go check out Transformers Slag and Creed 3 original story within the Rocky universe. Peace out.
Yeah. An original story that's a continuation of the story.
It's a continuation